120 hours had passed since Luna, the town's most beloved streamer, began her sleepless ghost hunt challenge within the confines of her apartment. On the screens of millions, Luna still sat there. Her eyes were wide, staring into the abyss, and the smile on her lips was stiff, as if carved from cold wax. She repeated a single phrase over and over, in a monotone cadence that chilled the blood.
Thank you for the donation. Thank you for the donation. Thank you for the donation.
The chat room exploded with text scrolling at a dizzying speed. Some praised her endurance. Others suspected a staged prank or that Luna had used an AI. But Bridget Fearlett did not agree. Sitting in the darkened office, she turned to her brother. Pointing a trembling finger at Luna's lifeless eyes on the screen, she asserted,
"That is not AI, Patrick. I scanned the source code. No machine can render despair that authentic. Look at her facial muscles. They are twitching. Not from laughter, but from agony."
Patrick stood behind her, arms crossed. He narrowed his eyes, scrutinizing the girl who continued to thank the endless stream of virtual currency. His voice was low and grave.
"She has sat in that exact position for 10 hours. No food, no water. She has barely blinked. If she were living, her body would have collapsed long ago."
Bridget typed a rapid command to trace the signal. Her face drained of color as the results materialized. She turned to Patrick, her expression one of pure bewilderment.
"Brother, I just traced Luna's IP address. The signal is coming from her apartment in the West District. But the problem is, that entire building had its power cut 2 days ago due to a fire."
Patrick raised an eyebrow, stepping closer to the screen, asking the question that hung in the air.
Power cut? Then what is feeding that computer? And more importantly, what is feeding her?
Patrick decided to investigate in his own way. He removed the leather glove from his left hand, revealing his bare skin. He placed his fingertips gently against the tablet screen. Instantly, Patrick recoiled as if burned. He gasped, his face pale from the sensation. He looked at Bridget, his eyes filled with disgust.
"Hunger. I feel a ravenous, maddening hunger."
Bridget asked urgently.
"Is it Luna's spirit? Is she starving?"
Patrick shook his head violently. He pointed at the chat stream flowing like a river of sewage beside Luna's video and explained,
"Not her! Them! The viewers! I see thousands of invisible hooks from those hateful comments, from those donation demands, sinking into her flesh. They are pulling her strings like a marionette. She does not want to smile, Bridget. It is the crowd's thirst for entertainment that is pulling her mouth upwards."
A shiver ran down Bridget's spine. She slammed her laptop shut, stood up abruptly, and declared,
"We must go there now. If we leave this be, they will tear her apart until there is nothing left."
The siblings broke down the door to Luna's apartment. A stench of decay assaulted them, thick and suffocating. The room was pitch black, sweltering hot. The only light came from the computer rig, running at maximum capacity, its cooling fans screaming like wailing spirits. And there, Luna still sat. But in the flesh, the truth was far more horrifying. Her skin was purple and bruised, her limbs swollen with death. Patrick approached, shining his flashlight on the girl's face, and coldly announced,
"She is dead. She has been dead for at least 3 days."
Bridget froze, stammering in disbelief.
But she is still talking. Look, her mouth is moving."
Just then, Luna's corpse jerked violently, her head lolling to the side at an unnatural angle. From her dry, cracked lips came that familiar, static-filled sound. Patrick observed the network cables snaking around the desk like vines. He realized the macabre truth and explained,
"It is not a ghost. It is the algorithm. The obsessive energy of millions of viewers has possessed the system. The computer is sending electrical shocks into her nerves, forcing the corpse to move, to keep streaming, to keep the views coming. It will not allow its golden goose to rest, not even in death."
Patrick lunged forward to pull the plug, but an invisible force blasted him backward. It was the collective rage of millions protecting their entertainment. Patrick shouted to his sister.
I cannot get close! The crowd's desire is too strong. Bridget, you must destroy the channel from the inside. Wipe it from the internet.
Bridget nodded. She pulled out her phone, fingers flying across the screen. She didn't try to turn off the computer. She attacked the broadcast server itself. Gritting her teeth, eyes fixed on the cascading code, she said,
All right, you want to watch? I will give you a black screen. Forever. Ban command, execute.
On Luna's monitor, burning red letters appeared. This channel has been permanently deleted. Instantly, the light from the screen vanished. The room plunged into a peaceful darkness. Luna's corpse, after 120 hours of enslavement, finally collapsed onto the keyboard. Patrick stood up, dusting off his coat. He looked at the small body lying still in the shadows and whispered,
Sleep well, Luna. The show is over.
Bridget stepped to her brother's side. She looked at her phone screen, where thousands of viewers were screaming in the void because the signal was lost. She turned it off and murmured,
They will find someone new to replace her soon enough. Oblivion is sometimes a messy, isn't it?
The siblings quietly left the apartment, leaving behind an eternal silence, the one thing the young girl had craved, but could never afford while she was alive.